What's up everyone, it's Victon with another Path of Exile guide. Today we're going to be going over how to set up an Animate Guardian. We're going to go over both a budget setup and an expensive setup. So whatever your currency situation is, you should be able to learn something here and squeeze out some more overall DPS for your build. Before we get going on the guide though, if you do end up enjoying this or any of my other mini Path of Exile guides or build guides, do consider subscribing for tons of more content just like this. It really does help the channel and I greatly appreciate it. Alright, so first and foremost, some of you might be new to a summoner, so just real quick, what an Animate Guardian does is it allows you to drop an item on the ground, and by clicking the Animate Guardian button on your bar, it absorbs that item you dropped, and it turns it into a minion that uses that item's stats. You can do this for the following slots: helmet, body armor, gloves, boots, and weapon. And you can do this for rare items as well as unique items. Okay, cool, so the cheap version. This setup is only going to cost you about 10 to 15 chaos depending on where you are in the league. And it's perfect for you when you want to be doing maps tier 1 through 14, and even some of the in-game content if you have a proper helmet setup with additional minion life. It's also super easy to get going as the items you give your Animate Guardian are very cheap and abundant, so trading for them is quick and effortless. Running this setup gives you and your minions an increased damage aura, movement speed aura, and a small boost in life to your Animate Guardian. It's pretty rare that your Animate Guardian will die, but if it does, it's not too big of a deal since, like I said, you can go ahead and buy a new set without breaking the bank. Now for the set, we're going to start off by giving it a Leercast helmet, which gives us and our minions some additional damage. There is a middle of the pack helmet we can opt to go for here, which costs anywhere between 10 to 20 chaos usually. It's a rare helmet with the affix, nearby enemies take 9% increased physical damage, or any element that your minion might be using like fire or lightning, whatever, same thing here. You don't need any other stats on the helmet, that's really all you need. Of course, if you want to get extra life and resists on that helmet, that is perfect, but just note that it will get a little bit more expensive if you do that. So I just suggest maybe bench crafting life on it if there is an open affix. Next we have our weapon, and for our budget version what we're going to be doing here is using a Dying Breath, which again gives us and our minions an aura that increases our damage and effect of our auras and curses. For 1 chaos it is a pretty nice boost. For the gloves, we're going to be giving our Animate Guardian Southbound Gloves, which comes in at just a single chaos, and it gives a really nice bit of life and some cold resistance. Nothing crazy here, but that is the best bang for your buck. For the boots, we're going to be going with the Victorio's Flight, which gives you and your minions a buff that gives additional movement speed. Pretty nice for only a couple chaos, and if you're feeling really frisky, you can get a pair that has a Corrupted implicit to give it % chance to dodge attacks while moving. These are typically only about 10 chaos or so not too much more expensive than the base item, and worth the investment I would say. Lastly, for the budget version Animate Guardian, we're going to be going with a chest piece with just max life and max life %, as well as some chaos resistance. This next option costs you about 10 to 50 chaos depending on the rules, and it is nearby enemies are blinded. And again, you can try and get some life on it if you can, but just note that it's going to get a little bit more expensive the higher life you try and get on it. You can then craft on it, gain % of max life as extra maximum energy shield for a nice defensive boost if you have that craft unlocked. This item can pretty easily translate into the expensive version where we're going to use a similar chest piece that combos with our helmet to give the Guardian insane life regen. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's first go over the general benefits of stepping up your spending and why it's so important to eventually make the change from having a 10 Chaos Animate Guardian to a 3 Exalted Animate Guardian. First off, the expensive Animate Guardian is going to give you and your minions a permanent Fortify buff, which is huge in itself. Further, it gives you and your minions a crit multi bonus of 50%, a movement speed bonus, and a free additional curse, as well as Culling Strike. Unlike the budget Animate Guardian, this dude will literally never die. I've done the hardest content in the game over and over and over, and not once has it ever even come close to dying. It's legitimately immortal with this setup, so yes, you have to fork out an extra 3 exalts or so, but it's a great investment in my opinion that you won't have to do again, and you can use this in any summoner build you want in the future of the league. So first things first here, let's make sure our Animate Guardian never dies. What we're going to be doing here to do that is get a unique helmet, Mask of the Stitch Demon. These usually go for around 1 exalt. The big thing on this helmet is in the last line as it reads 1% of life per second per 500 maximum energy shield. It may not seem like much, but it goes perfectly with the chest piece I mentioned earlier. Most importantly, you craft on it % of maximum life as extra maximum energy shield. On our Animate Guardians, we have anywhere between 60 and 100,000 life, So even with a budget-friendly Animate Guardian that has about 60,000 life on it, it's going to give your Animate Guardian close to 6,000 energy shield, which equals 12% life regen per second. And that is crazy, and it makes it super tanky. Basically, as long as it doesn't get one shot, it's going to be just fine. With my current min-max Carrion Golem build, I'm running my Animate Guardian, and it's actually having just under 100,000 life, which makes this chest give him 10,000 additional energy shield, which equates to 20% life regen per second. And on top of that, I got lucky with the one that I bought, and it came with some life regen on it already, so it totaled out to 21% life regen per second. Yeah, this dude is straight immortal with this combo. Also, with this being the expensive version, this chest is also going to be rocking You Can Apply an Additional Curse, which combos with the next item we're going to have on our Animate Guardian. That being any glove that has a Corrupted Implicit, giving it a curse on hit. In my case, I used Curse level 12 vulnerability on hit, but you can use anything for your build, whether it be Frostbite, Conductivity, Flammability, whatever, it all works just fine. These are actually super cheap, and you don't need any good rolls on it, you just need that Curse on hit implicit. These usually go for about 25 chaos, which is pretty typical for any of the elements, if you're paying for one that is a level 12 curse on hit, and they're a little bit cheaper for the level 8 versions. In the expensive budget, we will be using these same boots in our budget version, so no change there. And lastly is our big boy weapon, the Kingmaker. This thing is crazy with what it gives you and your minions. Coming in at about 1x or so, this thing is going to give you permanent fortify, crit multi, some rarity, and culling strike. For 1x, that is actually pretty crazy. But that's why it's so important to make sure our Guardian doesn't die, because we don't want to be buying these items over and over. That would get pretty expensive. But like I said, with this setup, once you've spent that 3x or so to get it fully set up, you are going to be golden, and you can forever enjoy the crazy buffs this beefy boy gives you. And that's really it, guys. Not too much on this one, since it's pretty straightforward between the budget and expensive versions. Whether you're on a budget or have some spare exalts, I hope I was able to help you out with understanding the best routes to go for setting up your Animate Guardians in a clear and concise way. And I hope either way these setups help you squeeze out some more DPS and survivability in your builds. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. Like I mentioned earlier, if you did enjoy this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video, and if you would subscribe and check out some of my other Path of Exile guides. Among others, I do have tons of guide videos on different summoner builds that would go great with this Animate Guardian guide. It really means a lot, and it helps the channel grow more than you'd think. Thanks everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.